Looking to keep up with recruiting trends and headlines? You're in the right place. Welcome to Career Crossroads, the premier talent acquisition community, with your host, Chris Hoyt and Jerry Crispin.
Chris Hoyt from Career Crossroads here, and I've got an interesting benchmark survey to share with you on today's quick podcast. I'll give all of our listeners some fun details to chew on, but as a reminder, Career Crossroads members get full access to the benchmark report and all of the responses that came back when they log into www.careercrossroads.com. Now, recently, we asked our members a series of questions about sourcing COEs. Those are centers of excellence, centers of experience, centers of whatever your company decides to use, but the idea being a centralized group of knowledge or experience managing or influencing those areas of your recruiting and TA business channels. So what we got back from our member companies was a pretty telling look at how some of these segments are shifting and how some might not be as important to larger organizations as many consultants or experts in a few of these areas would prefer. To put things in perspective, 81% of our companies that responded, and anyone, by the way, can log into careercrossroads.com and actually see that current member base, but 81% that responded reported to have more than 10,000 employees globally. 20% of those taking part in the survey said that they will hire between 5 to 10,000 global full-time employees, with another 20% saying they'll hire more than 10,000 global FTEs, that's full-time equivalents. So when asked if their company has a specialized sourcing or recruiting COE with a particular focus, 35% reported that they do in fact have a dedicated team for competitive intelligence gathering. 60% said that they have a COE focused on direct sourcing and passive candidate lead generation, while 60% also owned up to having a dedicated COE for metrics, analytics, and insights. Now, anecdotally, we know from conversations with our members that these COE numbers are up for analytics and competitive intel over previous years. And while 60% report to have a sourcing or a lead gen COE, we attribute part of this to formalizing and standardizing sourcing teams and sourcing COEs over the last few years. You know, after all, having a sourcing team is not new, but companies are getting better at defining what they should be doing and how they should be formally supporting various recruiting teams. Other focuses we asked about, and that can be seen in the report: social media, operations and administration, and hiring manager management COEs. Now, to those companies that said, no, we don't have a dedicated COE for that, we asked if it was on the roadmap. 30% said that competitive intelligence was ahead for them in 2018, and 45% said they have a direct sourcing and lead gen COE on their roadmap. Interestingly enough, 35% that said they have no COE for social media management confirmed that they have zero interest in creating one. We also ask about where those COEs live, so whether they are based in the US, offshore, virtual, or even a combination of those. As you can probably predict, a large portion of these all sit in the US for these companies, with some standout responses related to about 7% saying their lead generation is run offshore, and about 10% saying it's strictly virtual, with 20% reporting it is a combination of markets and virtual work. All categories of COEs that we ask about seem to carry a high percentage of responses that ranged anywhere between 10 and just over 33% for combinations. So work that's being done virtually as well as based out of various brick and mortar locations. So what might surprise our Career Crossroads members is the percentage of companies that are not measuring cost savings, and how many that are feel neutral about their return on investment. Want to know how many of our respondents have all or part of their COEs outsourced to an RPO or vendor? Want the details around offshoring, open comments for some of these questions, or any additional details that were shared by the company leaders? Just log into careercrossroads.com and check it out in the research section of the website.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Career Crossroads. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a review and subscribe. And for more great content and to stay up to date, visit careerxroads.com, facebook.com, and twitter.com/careerxroads. We'll catch you next time.